Shalom, shalom. Call all Yabashim Yashai Barakakadash. Yabashim Yashai Bashim Rakakadash Brakatham. Double honor to apostles who are our elders, who rule well. Blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. This Rob Amaf of the Nebraska camp. This is GMS Any Push to the Mark. I wanted to go over this lesson. I was watching just a video. And I forget what video I was watching, but through the spirit, it made me want to go into this precept real quick, and we're going to bring it out straight out the gate. It says, Job 13:1, it says, Lo, my eyes have seen it, have seen all this, mine ear have heard and understood it. Because this is what's going on. Job was, being afflicted by Satan. And, through the flesh. And, we all know the agreement in Satan and the Lord made, or the request and approval, the request from Satan and the approval that the Lord gave. Let's put it like that. And, which was to, afflict him to see if he will stand strong for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And the Lord said, you could touch his flesh, but, you can't touch his spirit, right? So, with that being said, he was pretty much being afflicted physically. Okay, lost his children, lost all his riches, lost his physical health, his homeostasis, in all kind of categories. And so once he was at his lowest, his family came around and was suggesting for him to take certain routes to alleviate the afflictions. Okay. So he says in Job 13:2, it says, what ye know, the same do I know also. I am not inferior to you, because it's the thing. From physicians to regular people, just because, some people may just have better genes at times, or just be in a better situation. And it's not because you're smart. It's not because of what you did. It's just the situation of circumstance. Somebody might be naturally strong and tell somebody else they need to lift weights, and you ain't never lift weights, or you lazy in the weight room, and you'll tell another person, well, you need to lift, and you're looking down on somebody, so in their case, they were in a better health state, and so they'll tell them, hey, man, you should do this. This is the right way. Look at me. It's like, nigga, I ain't inferior to you because I'm going through something. You know what I'm saying? Because if it happened to you, you wouldn't be able to stop it either. Now let's go into the actual physicians. Okay, they believe because they're educated that they may not have certain problems with other people, that they actually know what they're talking about and know what they're doing. But what I wanted to go through is because what happened was we was talking about certain medications. Oh, that's what it was. We was speaking on the I believe the Nashville school shooting, and I was looking at the comments, and one person said something that was very interesting, and they said, "Do you think that the testosterone that was injected into that woman made them hyper aggressive?" Okay, and that made me sit back and like that's a high possibility, because how many female school shooters you know? Why is the first one transgender that's being injected with testosterone? That don't raise a flag. That's not a oddball situation. No female shooters ever, like school shooters, like hyper, like a lot of them type of deal. I ain't talking about regular shooting. I'm talking about in that type of demographic. There's never been that category. And the first one is one just being injected with testosterone. Okay? Because it's not saying that men are dangerous, but men can be dangerous. I've said in lessons a long time before, women be trying to be men, but they can't match the energy. But when you're being injected with testosterone, you won't have some of that energy. Okay? But you may not be able to take it there physically, because you're not going to have all the true man strength. But that testosterone is not only physical strength, but it's aggression as well. Go to those who take steroids. They're super aggressive. Okay? Men that's hyper, like you talking about hyper aggressive, them motherfuckers, rage. So it's a common. Matter of fact, let's go to the side effects of testosterone. Because this is the thing. These physicians that sit here, just because a physician prescribes something to you doesn't mean that it's supposed to be taken. And that's why I wanted to go into, because a lot of these people are being approved by these medical doctors. And to this day, we have to be easy with our words, because YouTube will clip us by exercising free speech. Because it's not the doctors that's telling you can't speak about certain pandemics and situations that's going on at this time. It's the Bill Gates, it's the YouTube owners, it's the politicians, it's the people behind the curtain that's, that's pretty much pulling the strings, because these doctors / physicians are paid off. Okay. And by them being paid off, they're just gonna get on TV and say whatever you need them to say in an educated way to get people to buy the drugs that they need. So I'm gonna get this real quick. It says, what is a negative side effect of testosterone? It says a relatively small number of men experience immediate side effects of testosterone treatment, such as acne, disturbed breathing while sleeping, breast swelling, and tenderness of the ankles. Doctors also watch out for high red cell counts and increased risk of clotting. Okay. Let's see here. Let me just get straight to the point. Matter of fact, look, it says testosterone and aggression in females. It says testosterone show the same small positive relationship with aggression in women as in men. All right. The role of cortisol is unclear, although some evidence suggests that women who are high in testosterone and low in cortisol show heightened aggression. Okay. So that school shooter, I would like to know what the testosterone levels are. Okay. Does testosterone cause aggressive behavior? Testosterone activates the subcortical areas of the brain to produce aggression, while cortisol and serotonin act antagonistically with testosterone to reduce its effects. All right, because serotonin and I forgot the other shit called, man. Serotonin and something, because serotonin is linked to sleep and relaxation and things like that, and dopamine. Those two, create a euphoria and things like that. So yeah, they're pretty much, those chemicals in our body are the exact opposite of each other. Now, the thing that me and the brother was talking about, and when you read something like this, you say, "Oh, you can't get things off the internet." Nigga, this is accurate. Anybody that don't think this is accurate is full of shit. You just want to, you just want to be right and cognitive dissonance. You only want to believe doctors. So even when a doctor put this on the internet, or a doctor-approved person put this on the internet, your Dr. Fauci's and all that, say things on the internet. There's prescribed doctors that came on the internet and said that Jabberwocky doesn't work in prevention of spreading and getting, it only helps you heal faster. People cut them off, chop them off. A prescribed physician, who's cutting them off? The same people that's paying them to say the lies. Okay? So, this whole argument of, oh, are you a doctor? Are you a doctor? Like, you can't pay a doctor to say some dumb shit. Like, doctors aren't viable. Like how you keep these hospitals running? Okay? If you go back and look at how much money that let me see how much money. It's like it's Satan fucking my phone, man. How much money OxyContin brung in 2023? You want my, of course, you want my location. So OxyContin generated 2.3 billion in net sales in 2010. 2.3 billion. Right? And that medicine will mess you up. Okay? What's the new one? That's being laced with heroin. Fentanyl, man. You know, they putting fentanyl, and I seen a kid getting fucked up, and he was like, well, they got to give you some fentanyl. He woke up like, no, I don't want that shit. It's like, it's a good fentanyl. Nigga, ain't no good fentanyl and bad fentanyl. Nigga, it's fentanyl. It either came from y'all and what good fentanyl, bad fentanyl, if it wasn't stepped on. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't fuck with it and stretched it or did something like that. But fentanyl is fentanyl. And there's a video of a police officer doing a drug bust and just opened the door, the back of the car to the fentanyl and passed out, had a drug overdose, and they had to call a fucking some backup to revive him from dying, man. But this is the stuff that's in hospitals. Now, of course, there's dangerous things in hospitals, just like there's dangerous things in factories. You know, you got caustics and acids to clean up certain things. But this is something you're putting in your body, okay? This is something you're putting in your body just as much as many other drugs. But Esau is a demon and a devil, and things like selenium that's natural for cows and humans. We all got selenium in this, but he would process it and concentrate it to the point that when he gives it to you, your body is not used to regulating these natural amounts. You're injecting somebody with a fucking massive amount to where your body's not regulating it no more. It's now this pill that's regulating it. And it's the same thing going back to, you know, your serotonins and your dopamines. And matter of fact, let's get it. I was looking up this one article because I seen it a while ago, and it made me want to do some research on it. And in the regards of disruption of serotonin contributes to cocaine effects, right? Meaning cocaine affects your serotonin and affects your dopamine. A dopamine is, they show you this stuff. Hey, let's get the scripture. Yes, it's Salakia, it cut off because I opened this app up. Let me see here. Psalm 64:8, okay. It says, like I start at 7. Matter of fact, I gotta keep bagging up. You know, this is what happens when you just try to get to the point. You know, let's see here. Psalm 64:2, it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right, that's the people behind the curtain. All right, because they got secret ideas and things that they want to do. That's why your president gave out a bunch of pipes and you know, lighters for those who are on heroin, instead of sending their ass to jail like the rest of everybody and just detoxing them up in there. All right, and just keeping their ass in jail. Not saying that they should go to jail, but that's the way you handle Jake. You know, so it's like underlining agendas where, oh, it's our people, it's our so-called white people. We got to, you know, help them out. We got to help them get off of this stuff, you know. But there was a war on drugs when it was with Jake. You know what I'm saying? But they really want people to be on drugs. They want people to be docile. They want reasons to enslave you. Okay? So it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrections of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Right? Because these words that they shoot in your ears, doctor prescribed, this doctor prescribed, you should get it, you gotta get it, you gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? Oxycontin, Lortabs, Xanax, lean, purple syrup, many of pain pills. These things will mess you up, because it's not meant to be consumed at the rate that people are consuming it. And it's not meant to be consumed at the concentration it's being consumed at. You're taking, poppy seeds or the poppy plant or whatever that plant they take and use, the cocaine from, and you condense that shit and put it in a pill. When people over there in Africa just chew on a root or something like that. And you're taking like 18 fucking plants and putting in one single pill. That's just like, it's just like weight. You know what I'm saying? The larger the area, the lighter the thing that you're carrying. But if you take like 50 pounds of something is lighter when it's larger, if it makes sense. Okay? So if you got like a small desk, that's 50 pounds, 25 pounds, right? That's going to be light. But when you take it and make it a little block, like a child's block, and you make that 50 pound, that thing is going to be heavy as hell, man. Because it's condensed, right? So the same thing with, even though that's mass, we're talking about volume. You're taking something and putting something into a little bitty thing when it's not supposed to be taken in that amount at one time, right? It's just like somebody needing to be healed, and you're just injecting everything in at once instead of doing it periodically to wear it out. No, Esau just give you these pills that's concentrated, all right? Because low key they be taking that shit behind closed doors, but it's a different thing for a different time. All right, it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him. Fear not, because not only it ain't just these prescriptions and drugs, it's all kind of secrets and things that they say and do and act that is really intended to not even dethrone Jacob, to keep them oppressed and under wraps. Okay. It says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot an arrow at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. They shall make their tongue to fall upon themselves, right? So what does that mean? They come out here and tell the truth about how drugs affect the serotonin and dopamine and different things. And there's a reason why heroin is so addictive. But that shit is as you go to the hospital when you want women have epidurals and all that, ain't nothing but fucking not cocaine, but heroin, man. And now your kid's a crack baby. And they gotta pretty much be weaned off of that drug that they put in the woman's spinal cord. And the woman will never be the same from that shot either, man. All right. And then when you're dealing with that, now the kid's all messed up, man. Okay. Kind of lost my train of thought, but you get the point. But it's gonna be okay, or we saved them and we did this. You fucking people up. But then you could just have a doula and an assistant and have a natural water birth like it's supposed to be. right? Sit them in the water, a swimming pool, and just have them, because they're in water anyway. And then you're supposed to let gravity take hold. But Esau, nah, if we can just lay them on the back, we can give them a shot, and they'll be okay. It's the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. You'll feel no pain at all. Hey, the Lord said a woman shall have pain in childbirth, man. Okay? That type of shit ain't nothing but Esau trying to duck the curses, but, we're going to continue on. So I want to get back to this article. It says this was made in February 5th, 2019. It says this research traced the effects of cocaine, including distribution of serotonin regulation in the ventral pallidum and the orbital frontal cortex. Pretty much, front of the head or the front of the brain. I forget which. I think that's like memory or something around there. It says suggests that these effects may contribute to drug seeking and cocaine associated cognitive impairments. Cocaine causes addiction and cognitive deficits, resulting in uncontrolled use of the drug and impaired decision making. New NIDA supported research suggests that the drugs may produce these problems in part by distributing regulation of the neurotransmitter serotonin. Cocaine blocks the transporters for dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine, causing increase in extracellular levels of these neurotransmitters. Sharp spikes in extracellular dopamine, particularly in the nucleus accumbens NAC reward center, account for much of the drug's reinforcing and addicting effects. The new studies suggest that increased extracellular serotonin in the ventral pallidum (VP) and orbital frontal cortex also may contribute to reward and may underline cognitive deficits observed on users of the drug. So it's pretty much saying it makes you addictive, like makes your brain triggers an addiction. Because I forget what shit I was watching on like Discovery Channel. They show how you take it, your body naturally produces serotonin, dopamine, and it's pretty much dopamine is happiness. It's like when a man, and a woman get together and they both climax. That's like the climax of feeling is a dopamine. And guess what? You get tired after because the serotonin, it takes an effect. It's a relaxing, happy, relaxing effect. And there are things out there that naturally would produce that. All these things all these things that from the poppy, the cocaine, all that stuff is natural in its natural state. But when you turn that shit into a powder and you start taking shit and start putting this chemical in there and doing that, it's the same thing with corn and canola oil. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with sugars. They overprocess the fuck out of it and concentrate it. And now when you consume it, your body doesn't know how to respond to it because it's not natural. It's not like you eating a steak. That's like taking protein pills. Your body's not going to know how to respond to it, man. Same thing with testosterone. Your body needs testosterone. Even women have it. They just don't have high levels of it, which is why they act how they act. So when you give a woman testosterone, she's going to act like a dude. And then she's going to be acting like a dude, and she never act like a dude for real before. These women may want to play like a dude, but you're still a woman mimicking a dude. So you can walk around a certain way, but you don't feel like a dude when somebody talk to you crazy. When somebody cuts you off in the traffic, a woman and a dude responds differently. And somebody say something to you, or if you feel played about something. That testosterone creates aggression to where you'll go to war. Women aren't built for that. So now you inject a person that has never experienced that and tell them, all right, now go fly. You know what I'm saying? Go handle it. Go in life and do your thing. This nigga's a ticking time bomb, man. Okay? Boys been dealing with aggression since they were born, all the way up to this point, especially once you hit puberty. Well, little kids be hyper aggressive. All of us men. Once we hit puberty, it was a wrap, man. We was out here. Thought we was right about everything. Didn't want to listen. All these things. You know what I'm saying? Want to fight half the time. Still run, do crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't know how to handle that testosterone within us if we weren't raised right. Okay? So, let's see if I can find this next article. I think that's what I wanted to get out of that. Yeah. I wanted to go into the 7 most outrageous medical treatments in history. With the snake oil, cocaine. Like at a point, doctors were prescribing these things. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go into oh man, it's a word that man, I should have did the lesson yesterday because I had it all built up in the spirit. That's why scriptures say it. Let's see here. But pretty much, as Yahweh Shimi Al-Shai has mentioned, or Salakinai, so stammering the word, was is the Lord, that the doctor means to falsify. Okay? And so these people will get, like, I doctored it up. You know what I'm saying? So the word doctor goes back to falsify, which means to make fake. It says, so you go into like snake oil salesman, different things of that nature. Man, I had it all laid up. But the whole point is that these doctors do falsify. Okay, they do make up things. They do change things around. They do lie about things and try to make it believable. So dealing with that woman that shot up that Nashville school, when somebody says, "Oh, it's mental health," it ain't mental health, nigga. Like they put drugs into that woman, and that woman became hyper aggressive to the point that things she thought of doing. And her estrogen would have calmed that down and made that get a bucket of ice cream. She went and got her AR-15. Okay, they call cocaine a wonder drug. Vibrators cure your hysteria. You know what I'm saying? Cure your hysteria. Fen-phen, a miracle pill for weight loss. It says today's weight loss industry is an estimated $60 billion business, right? A large portion which is spent on diet pills. And while the first fat-busting pills went on the market in the 1880s, no other pill have had quite the speedy rise and fall as fen-phen did in the 1990s, originally released in the market as 2 separate drugs. And the appetite suppressant fenfluramine and let's see all these fucking words. I'm not a doctor. I'm not no educated man of that level. Says and I mean doctor is educated. Doctor means to falsify, but you gotta go to school and learn all them words because a lot of them drugs, Tylenol, is really a longer word than that, and all of them sound the same if it's in a category of that drug. Okay, it says they were marketed as short-term diet aids, but proved largely ineffective on their own in the late 1970s. However, the 2 products were combined by Dr. Michael Weintraub to create what becomes known as fen-phen. Weintraub conducted a single study With 121 patients over the course of 4 years, the patients, 2/3 of which were women, lost an average of 30 pounds with seemingly no side effects. But Wintraub's study didn't monitor the patients' hearts. The new miracle drug was first introduced into the market in 1992, and people could not get enough of it. Some doctors, looking for a quick way to make cash, operated fen-phen mills where desperate patients looking to shed excess weight would pay anything for the pills. Soon, some 6 million Americans were using it. They were looking for what ways to make cash. You act like a doctor when he becomes a doctor that, oh, I've signed up to become a doctor to save the world. No, this nigga want to make bread, okay? He want to make money, all right? And most doctors or I've worked in hospitals. Most doctors are dickheads, okay? They don't respect nurses. You gotta either be fine or something like that for them to be all. They're gonna talk to you like you're inferior to them. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they went to school to get this education and you're sharing the same room with them. Nigga, you ain't me. I'm a doctor. Move out the way. The doctor's coming. Sit down. Shut up. And they love it like that because they're human. They love the visual and instant gratification, or not instant gratification, because they went to school for years and they earned that through all that rigorous studying. But they're no different from an alchemist. They're no different from a witch. They're no different from what's the guy on the Game of Thrones that have all the chains around them and shit like that. They're no different from these dudes, man. Okay. But they sit there and who says that you can't give a nigga like the evil dude? You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's a dangerous procedure and brung the mountain back and all that. There's a bunch of them. It's a whole bunch of them doctors. But the dude that was trying to save old boy that had the little fucking scale disease and all that, ain't too much of them. There's them that, you know, but then the media like to show you them crying after a surgery and all that. Man, them people do not care. And then another point is when you go into a hospital, bro, when I went to get my CNA, when I first went to get my CNA, I worked in hospitals as a care tech, that's what they call them in hospitals. And when I got my education, the lady told me that she do everything natural. Because when people die from going into a hospital with a certain ailment and getting infected in the hospital, not that I had an infection and let me go to the hospital and then they tried to heal me and then it didn't work and I died. No, I went in there with a broken bone. I went in there with a seizure or something and I had to get a surgery and then the infection kills me. More people die from that than car crashes, or it's damn near equivalent. Okay? So these people, but then they tell you the doctor's right. The doctor's right. It's supposed to save lives. Scriptures tell you, let the sinner fall into the hands of the physician. We're going to get that as well. But we're going to go to Corinthians, and then we're going to get that. It says, 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and 18 says, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, for it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. Look at this Jabberwocky everybody's getting. Heart attacks. Ain't nobody told you the side effects. Oh, it'll heal you. It's just wonder, you can go out and play again. And then you dying, dropping dead. Your ass can't do a decent sprint, without having, panic attacks and shit and all that. And there's no way a soccer player should be having any type of heart problems. There's no motherfucking way a soccer player should be having heart problems in the prime of his life and he's falling out dead mid-match. There is no way. This hasn't happened in history. Okay? But yet, motherfuckers are shaking mid-soccer game and falling out, and everybody's saying, well, oh man, we don't know what it was. He had a bad toothpaste and all, and then y'all believe it. Okay, there's all kind of loopholes and stipulations to where if you take that Jabberwocky and if you get the second Jabberwocky, if you die within a certain time, then it don't count as you dying because of the Jabberwocky, because it's within a certain all this goofy underlying and written so they can get on the news and say, oh, it wasn't that. Well, we know for a fact it wasn't that because the lie that we wrote, it matches the lie. It matches what we doctored up about it. Takes you fucking centuries to come up with certain things. It only took you about a year, 6 months to come up with. Come on, man. Come on, man. Can't say centuries or a decade. Okay, 5 to 10 years to come up with certain stuff. And you just come up with something in 6 months. Like, niggas is stupid, bro. Niggas is stupid, desperate, or they just don't care. Because it can't be common sense that people are operating under to believe all this shit. To believe that if you signed up as a police officer, then you sworn in. That means you're going to protect and serve. Like, nigga, like a comedian said, you act like politicians and people don't lie. I lie to my kids all the time. Like, a person with common sense say, well, if I lie and I do things for the betterment of me, what's the difference between these people that are professionals? Because they had this title, all of a sudden they're honest about their title? A police officer, protect, serve. Both of them niggas are suckers that was in school that got bullied by half these niggas or jocks, and they got into a position of authority so they can get their lick back on society, man. You know what I'm saying? Most politicians are just greedy, and they want power and control, and they want to do stuff without nobody telling them what to do. That's why the bulk of these people get caught stealing money, man. You don't get that many John F. Kennedys walking around. You know what I'm saying? Now he's a devil, the devil indeed, but he at least has some type of integrity about the gold standard, about I think it's Project Kentwood with the operation, the false flag that they was gonna create on Cuba. You know, it's a small amount, man, but that people just are so fucking gullible that they get on the news. We got a doctor. Oh, the doctor said it is true. This nigga got a gun behind his head. They got his kids tied up, or they about to hit him off for the check. You know, why you think people was dropping off money and giving you certain trinkets to get this? Why you think they was giving Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans so much money? They contribute 20 billion or something amount of money towards pumping the Jabberwocky to the community, to the minority community, right? They telling you that number, but they ain't about to tell you how much money they about to get from the people behind the curtain for distributing it to that specific demographic. They may have to pay 20 billion or whatever said billion, 5, 6 billion to get it out there, but they probably making 50 and hundreds of billions of dollars doing that. Okay? Because they ain't never did that. You go get you a car. Go buy you a house. Ain't nobody gonna sit there and say, well, since you're a minority, I'm about to break you off. Or since y'all doing so bad in education, we about to just ship $20 billion to lower education schools, knowing that low education contributes to crime. Right? Then you'll never see them pump $20 billion into the school system. Like, come on, man. Jake got to get some sense about him, man. This demon is not for our turn. But let me get this last precept. All right, so we're going to go into Sirach, you know, see here. Trying to get the right one. I want to make sure I get the right one. So we're going to go into Sirach 38. I don't want to read it all, but I probably have to. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. But Sirach 38:1, it says, "Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which he may have of him. For the Lord have created him." Right? Because the Lord created everybody, but he didn't. He's not approving of the wickedness that they're doing. Just because you sign up to be a physician don't mean the Lord ordained you to be there to heal. You may be in there for your own devices. All right. There's wolves in sheep clothing. There's way more wolves in sheep's clothing when it comes to doctors. Okay. Because the real physicians are the prophets. Really, at this point, the only true physicians are the prophets. Because we're only ones that's coming upon the name of the Lord. Because even in this precept, it tells you if the physician can't heal you, he will pray to the Lord. These niggas don't. Most of these people that are educated at that level don't believe in the Most High no more. Okay, it says, "For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the King. From the Most High cometh healing." So they're not praying, "Let me do this surgery, Lord. Let me do this the right way." A lot of them drugs are against the will of the Heavenly Father as well. Procedures. Okay, it says, "The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration." Yeah, people will because you heal them. You're a lifesaver. "The Lord have created medicines out of the earth." Tylenol is garlic. Just go and take some garlic. Why you gotta take a Tylenol? Because it's fast acting. Why is it fast acting? Because it's condensed. Okay. Like all this, get in. Let me continue. It says, "The Lord, Slakia, the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them." Okay, so when somebody tell you a natural way, the Dr. Sebis and all that, they magically die, or you can't get everything off the internet. I guess you looking all the Tylenol, ain't nothing but garlic in it, Was not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? All right. And he have given men skill that he might be honored in his marvelous works. Yeah, doctors do have skills. To do open heart surgery, that's a skill, man. Okay. But to charge somebody millions and millions of dollars to where they can't afford it, and now they're under this contractual servitude. You know what I'm saying? This is the way of Esau. He is the wicked, which means to take something straight and to make it crooked. To heal somebody and to give them life, he charged you billions, millions or thousands of dollars that you can't afford. Now you're locked into a contract of debt. Okay? It says, "With such doth he heal men and taketh away their pains. Of such doth the apothecary make a confection, and of his works there is no end. And from him is peace all over the earth. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole." You don't hear no doctor saying, "Well, first, before we do this, let's all pray." No, that is not coming out their mouth, man. Because at this point, they think it's them. They think they're God. Okay? It says, "Leave off from sin, and order thy hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. Give a sweet savor and a memorial of fine flour, and make a fat offering as not being. Then give place to the physician, for the Lord hath created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him. There is a time when when in their hands there is good success. For they shall also pray unto the Lord that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. They ain't praying to the Lord. They ain't going to the Heavenly Father. They're going to their books and their notes, which is common sense. But you supposed to have spiritual sense to know that them notes ain't gonna matter if the Lord don't want that person to live or to be healed. Because the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. He maketh rich and maketh poor. Okay? Now, there may be a path, but shit can happen. And shit happens more often than not because the Lord ain't dealing with them doctors. The Lord's dealing with us. Okay? So he that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hands of the physician. Okay? So a lot of these sicknesses and ailments, which is a part of the death, the sting of death that we're dealing with, it comes from sin. Heart problems, diabetes, cancer, all this go all the way back to Adam. The sin, the death, when death came into the world. Okay? So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to get. Hopefully this was edifying. With that being said, I would say call Allah Yabashim Al Shai Bar Kakadash Yabashim Al Shai Bashim Kakadash Brakatham. Hey, Shalom.